What is up, guys, and welcome back to VidX. You might recognize this spot. I actually did a camping trip here last week, and today we are back. And what is crazy is, in a week's time, the water has dropped significantly. So this is actually exactly where I parked my kayak, right here, and had plenty of water, plenty of room to move around. And now you guys can see my boat is way down there. And not only is it way down there, there's a lot of mud. So I had to build me like a little bridge almost, or a little place to stand, because I was sinking in it and I really couldn't get a grip and could hardly get up the hill. But now I think we've got everything kind of settled up and ready to go. So we're back out here, and duck season's over, so we're not duck hunting anymore. But I wanted to do another camping trip, and I really like this spot. And the idea is that we would have the higher water and we'd be able to go out and adventure to different places. But since the water dropped back to almost its normal level, it's still a little bit higher, the logs have revealed itself again, and I can only take the boat so far. In fact, coming in here was a little bit sketchy on the boat because there are so many logs. But we made it back here safely. Not a real issue. If the water were to drop another 2.5 to 3 feet, it might be a little bit of a problem for us, but I don't think it's gonna do that while we're here. So the goal for this trip is to catch some more catfish. One of the things I learned last time is if you had the right gear, you'll catch more fish. So we're gonna do that. And then the other thing is we're gonna try to hunt for some deer and some hogs. Deer season's almost wrapping up here. It's in the muzzleloader season right now, so we gotta see if we can get one this year. I've actually not deer hunted really at all, besides twice in bow season, and once I seen a pig, and the other time I seen a few deer, but just couldn't make the right play on them. So we got the muzzleloader today, and I know of an area where there might be some deer, and we might go exploring and try to find some hogs. But first things first, let's get camp set up, get everything settled in, get everything out of the boat that needs to come out. We'll go from there. So let's do it. Alright, so I got camp set up. I could add a little bit more to it later, put the tarp on stuff, and do all the little minor stuff later on, but I really wanted to get stuff done, get camp at least set up partially. That way we can get out and set up some limb lines. I really want to catch some more catfish, and I think with the right gear now on this trip, I'll be able to do that a lot better. So we're gonna hop in the boat and go do that, and then after we're done, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go try to see if we can find some hogs or a nice buck. So we're gonna go off in the woods and probably work around that way, because there's a lot of land to work with. I've seen hogs out that way, kind of downstream, and I've seen deer downstream too. So my theory is if we get out there and start looking around, we might find something good, maybe something to hunt in the morning. So let's get in the boat, get downstream, and put out some lines. Alright, so we're at our first spot, and I went a long ways upstream that we would have plenty of room to work back. And the water is so much lower now that it's gonna be hard to find adequate spots to put up these lines. And I'm also probably gonna have to add a lot more to my lines to get the proper length. I think this one will be plenty long enough, but a lot of them might not be. So I'm hoping it's not too low that we can't get into deep enough water to catch catfish, but we'll see. Alright, so I got line 1 set, and I think I decided that I'm going to go ahead and bait these just in case I can't get back to them tonight and I'm too busy doing something else. I'm going to go and bait this one, and we're going to go down the line, and we're going to set up probably 6 to 8 of these things, and hopefully catch a bunch of catfish. So I'm going to catch up with you guys when I'm on the last one. So we're wrapping up setting up the lines now, and something I forgot to mention to you guys earlier is I brought some crawdad traps, and last video I actually found a dead crawfish out here, and I was like, dude, it'd be so cool if I could come out here and catch a few. So these are really just test traps to see if there's many out here, and it's still kind of cold, so I don't know if we'll catch a lot or even many, but I want to find out if they're out here. So I brought a couple with me, and I've already put 2 out. This will be my 3rd, and I have 4 in total. So set this one up, get it ready to go, because I see a nice log we're going to put it on. Now I was doing a little reading, and you know, it's hard to find certain information, especially stuff like this, but it said that in the colder seasons that you can usually find them in deeper water. So I'm trying to set them a little bit deeper than I usually would, and just filling them with some mullet and some other bait fish that I have, just like I've been using for the catfish. I've been saving the little mullet heads, throw them in there, and then I got some more bait back here, and that should work. Put the trap together, and now we will set it up. Let's just ease on over here to this motor real quick. Ease on over here to this log real quick, and that's where we'll set it up. Alright, and let's see if it'll reach bottom here. Sure did. Alright. So I just took a bunch of mono at one point and put it on here for a leader, and now I'll just take that and wrap it around the log. This got a clip on the other end. There we go. So now I have probably 8 or so limb lines set and 3 crawfish traps set. I think we're going to do 1 more limb line, and then we're going to call it a day on those. And I was planning on hunting this evening, but this evening just went by so quick, and this took a lot longer than I thought it would. So let's get our last line set up, and we might go walk around for a little bit and just see if we can catch something moving at last light. Well, we made it back to camp, and fortunately the sun's kind of getting away from me today as it's already started to set, but it's actually already completely set and now starting to get dark. But it took a little longer than I expected to get the lines all set up and all, but I really wanted to get as much lines as I could as possible because I feel like we'll catch plenty of catfish. And you know, hunting is a toss-up. I could run into something, I could not, but the catfish I'm feeling pretty confident about, so I spent more time on that. And today it's just, we're not going to be able to get out in the woods, but I have some time tomorrow, so we should be able to get to walk around and hopefully find some hunting spots, or even just find a good area that has some pig sign, because I would love to get a pig. But I went ahead and threw out the crawdad trap right here, the last one, so I have 4 of those out. I ended up finding a dead crawfish right here the last time I was here, so I was like, man, it'd be really cool if we could just catch a few. But we're back at camp now. We're going to get a fire going and then get started on dinner, because I got a pretty cool one for you guys today, and one that I actually really enjoy. It's one of my favorite meals. Let's get some wood gathered up, get everything together, and then get a fire going. Well, got a nice bed of coals going behind me now, and I'm gonna need it because this year we were actually lucky enough to go to Montana, and me, my dad, and my brother Wyatt, who you guys see on the channel frequently, we were all able to bag a mule deer, and I actually have some mule deer backstrap with me now. So I figured I'd let these coals kind of burn down a little bit and get it to a nice, good cooking temp, and we're gonna cook us some backstrap over this. And then one of the things I actually learned from Meat Eater is he talked about taking a certain brand of noodles, which I'll show you guys in a second, and adding the mule deer into it. And I actually got to try that while I was in Montana, and man, it was so good. And I was like, I would love to do this again. And today I was leaving the house, I was like, man, what am I gonna do for dinner? And then I thought of that, and I was like, I think that's what we'll do. So we're gonna get to cooking here in a second and be eating soon. So I kind of got it diced up a little bit into some cubes, and I don't have much for season. All we have is some salt and some black pepper, and I'm just gonna lightly season them, and then we're gonna add them to a little skewer. I just cut off a stick and then kind of burnt the end of it, you know, to sanitize it or whatnot. So we're just take a little bit of salt here, just kind of coat them a little bit of pep. Again, nothing crazy, just adding a little flavor. And then what we'll do, take a little skewer and kind of just run it through. Now what we gotta hope for is that this is not too tender and that they don't fall off. Now these probably could afford to be spaced out a little bit more, but we're gonna see how it goes and then go from there. So let's get our noodles and stuff ready, and then we'll get this on the fire. Got our big old slab of meat right here, and we're just gonna slowly cook it over the fire. Kind of let those flames die down a little bit, get to these coals, and slowly cook it. They don't have to be fully done, but I want them good and cooked for sure. Alright, I think I'm going to do a change of plan on this because I just don't think they're going to get done in the middle enough. So I'm going to swap to putting them in some foil real quick because I think that's just going to work a touch better. Getting pretty close to done. Kind of a good medium rare right now, so I'm just gonna let them simmer kind of over to the side. Kind of let them rest over here a little bit if I can. I think what I'm going to do too as the noodles get closer, I'm just going to drop the meat in there with them and let them boil for a little bit, which is right now. So the flavor we got is sweet and spicy. I'm gonna go ahead and crack that open. I'm gonna add it in there. And now we'll mix it around. Get all that goodness in there. A little hot. All right, so I got the food done now. I transferred it to this bowl just so it'd cool off a little bit faster. But I took the mule deer off the skewers, and I think they did a lot better in the tinfoil. And I forgot to tell you guys this brand. This brand is called Momofuku, and you can look them up. They're a little bit more pricey than regular noodles, but they are 1,000 times better than any noodles I've ever had, especially instant ones. So they're really, really good, and this one's sweet and spicy. And I heard Meteor talking about this one time, using the mule deer and throwing it in with the noodles, and I was like, that sounds really good. I tried it in Montana and I loved it. So when I was coming back out here tonight, I was like, you know what? I've got some backstrap thawed. Might as well throw it in some noodles and reminisce a little bit. That is very good. Oh man, this evening was kind of hectic, you know. It went by so fast. I got out here a little later than I wanted to, but I thought I had plenty of time still, and I really wasn't that worried. But man, with the water as low as it was, it took me a little longer to get the boat in the water and then to put out the lines, because I couldn't find that many limbs that were adequately low enough to use, and it took me a long time to find some quality limbs to set. But I'm glad I got here when I did, because I had pretty much enough time to set the limbs, set the crawdad traps, and then get it here, and then enough time to start a fire and get it good and hot to cook on. So that was a blessing, and I'm able to eat at a reasonable hour. It's 7:30 right now, so I'd say that's pretty good. You know, that's not too crazy. Tomorrow, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get up at first light or around that time, maybe eat a little breakfast, and then go check the lines. I think that's what I want to do tomorrow morning. And then after that, I think we're gonna go on a little hunt, see what we can find, see if we can find any hogs, find any deer, anything like that. And then after that, we'll head home. So I want to check those lines first thing in the morning though, because I'm really confident that we're gonna have a few. But you know, it's hard to tell. Well, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy the fire, eat some more of this food, and kind of wind down for a bit. And I'll pick you guys up in a second. Well, I got done eating and kind of been hanging out for a little bit, and I'm starting to get a little bit tired, so I think we're gonna call it a night. And I don't think I'm gonna wake up at any certain time tomorrow. I'm sure I'll just wake up with the sunrise, but we'll get up in the morning, probably eat a little breakfast, and then go check the lines and see what we got and do a little hunt afterwards. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, guys. It is around 6:30 or so. Finally got out of bed and embraced the cold a little bit. Figured I'd warm up around the fire a little bit, maybe eat a small breakfast, and then we'd go check the lines. I was worried about the water yesterday. The water was steadily receding, but it looks like it's gonna stay at a decent level for us today, so hopefully we can still get some hunting in as well. But the main attraction is gonna be checking these limb lines this morning and see if we got some catfish. I'm really hopeful that they did well, so I think we're gonna enjoy the fire a little bit, head on out and check some line. So we'll rebait and let it soak and then pick it up on our way out. So I'm gonna go through and check these lines, and I'm just gonna check back with you guys if we have some action. Not looking too good for this morning. So we're gonna go check the lines and rebait them if they need it, and then make our way back to camp. All right, just pulling up to line number 4, I believe. And I believe we got one. Nice sized catfish. He's the first one of the day, and I've been really worried, guys. Everything's been missing bait, and I think my bait has just been a little too freezer burnt. I've used it a few times now, and it's starting to get really mushy, and I think it's not holding to the hook. But finally, we got a catfish for the day, a beautiful, beautiful catfish, and we're gonna get him in the cooler. So I've been checking the lines. I think this is my 4th or 5th line I've checked. I know a lot of the lines when I drove by just did not look good, and hopefully our luck is gonna start turning around right here. I'm rebaiting them though, hoping for an early morning bite, so on the way out we'll check again and see if we can get some more. But that is a good eater-sized catfish, and he'll go with us in the cooler. Well, I just got done checking the last line, and almost every single one did not have bait on it. I think my bait is just a little too soft. It's falling apart, and I really should have grabbed a new bag. And I thought about that before I left the house the other day, but I ended up not doing it. But we got our one catfish, and I rebaited them all, hoping for a little early morning bite. So we're gonna head back to camp, grab our hunting stuff, head off to the woods, and just see if we can find anything of interest. You know, a hog spot or a deer spot or whatever, and see if we can stock up something. And then come back to camp, pack up, and on our way out, we'll check the lines one more time, and hopefully we'll have a few catfish on. So let's do it. All right, so I got the boat pulled up behind me up on the bank here. We paddled across. We're gonna try to work with the wind. I forgot my binos and my wind checker, but that's all right. We're just gonna cover some ground. It is currently 8:25, and really I don't need to be out here till about 12 or so. So I've got some time to kill, and I want to cover some ground and see if we can find some hogs. I got the muzzleloader with me, and I didn't load it yet because if we don't find anything, I don't want to have to unload it. So we're just gonna kind of take things slow and see if we can find some sign, and if not, oh well, you know, at least we explored a little bit. So wind's picking up. It'll kind of cover our sound a little bit and movement. So there's a good chance we could stumble upon something. So anyways, let's go see what we can find. Well, we are back at camp now, and just to kind of spare you guys from all the boringness, we basically went and walked for about an hour and a half, and I didn't really find much of anything of interest. I found a few tracks and that was about it, but I got to know the area a lot more and even found some new possible camping spots, which I was pretty excited for. But for now, I think we're gonna start packing up the camp and go check the lines for one final time and get out of here. I think this video is gonna be a lot shorter than my last one, which is okay, but we're trying to make them a little bit longer and bring you guys more on the adventure. But hopefully those lines we left soaking did a little bit better than the ones we checked this morning. So I'm hoping we'll catch a few catfish on the way out, but hopefully they won't be skunked. So let's get everything packed up and we'll get out of here. Alright, well, we are all packed up and we're ready to go check some limb lines. So cross our fingers, hopefully we got some more catfish. If not, I'm okay with the one I have. But I was expecting a lot more out of this video, and honestly I think everything went by so quickly I wasn't able to film a whole lot. So hopefully it turns out well, but we'll see. For now, let's see if we got some catfish. Alright, that was the last line. All that bait I had was just terribly bad, so let's head on in. Well, we're back at the boat landing now, and lesson learned, the bait was so mushy it was just falling off the hook. So next time I'm gonna have some better bait. But thank you guys for coming along with us. If you like this video, like and subscribe. It really helps us grow the channel. Me and Wyatt have put in a lot of work this year trying to grow the channel and doing a lot of adventures like this that hopefully turn out a little bit better. But I'm gonna get the boat loaded up now, get everything ready to get on the road home. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to make a few more videos like this. I know Wyatt's gonna work on his solo camping trip coming up soon, so you guys look forward to seeing that. And you guys leave a like and comment, please do that. That helps us grow a bunch, and honestly we're not getting enough of those to really grow the channel. So leave a like, leave a comment, and let us know what you guys like about the channel and what you'd like to see moving forward. But for now, I'm gonna get the boat loaded up and get on the road home. I'll catch you guys next time.